Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, a free site. Always 1776.com, a free site. Also, dwyerprivateequity.blogspot.com, a free site. Today is October 19th, 2023. Let's talk about the economy. Let's talk about money. But first, remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, let me also add too, nothing I say in this video should be construed as investment advice. I want everyone watching this video, whether you're a long-time viewer or a recent viewer, to think for yourselves, to do your own due diligence. I'm just telling you my thoughts, what I'm doing and what I'm thinking of doing. So, let's talk about it. This morning, as an aside, gold and uranium were both up nicely, even with what I expect to be high interest rates for quite some time. I expect gold and uranium to do well, right? We've discussed both in other videos. Now let's talk about artificial intelligence, AI, right? The newer capabilities are a game changer. But where to invest, in my opinion, depends on the ecosystem that's being offered. I notice in some of the publications to which I subscribe, I notice that they're trying to pub new upstart AI companies, right? But understand, these upstart AI companies don't have the kind of ecosystems that we're about to discuss. Right? Understand too that if a company is an upstart AI company, let's say OpenAI, well, older companies with a lot of cash flow can step in and can purchase ownership shares in such companies as Microsoft did with OpenAI. That's something to consider. So, I'm going to discuss some things that many people know, but many do not, particularly my generation, right? We're barely lucky to deal with email. Now you're throwing AI at us. We might not know all the capabilities that AI has, right? If you're thinking about AI, you need to think about all the possibilities. You need to think about the entire ecosystem. So here, let me make the case for Google and offer real-world examples. Now, if you're using Google Bard, and that's Google's system that allows you to get AI responses, it's bard.google.com, right? And if you get an answer to your AI query that you want to keep and save, just understand that because you're using Google Bard, you can save it directly from Google Bard to Google Docs. Right now, I've spoken with people about Google Docs, and look, I'm not here saying that Google Docs is better than Microsoft Word, right? But just understand what I am saying is if you're on the go and you need to quickly save a AI response from Google Bard, you can do so with the push of a button into your Google Docs account. Google Docs, of course, is seamlessly integrated into the Google ecosystem. If you need to send your AI response to someone else, just understand that you can hit a button and share it with that person via Google's Gmail. Right? You could even save it to yourself via Google Gmail. Just email yourself using Google Gmail. Now, let's say you are away from home. Let's say you've gotten up and you've left the desktop or the laptop computer and you're away from home with just your phone, right? Understand, from the Google Play Store, you can download Google Docs, right? You don't have to go buy software someplace. No, you just go to the Google Play Store, download Google Docs. Once you log in using your Google ID, you'll have access to your Google Docs database. Right? The Google Bard AI answer that you pulled up at home is now with you on the road. Right? You have it. You can, again, share it with others or many people, right? Using Gmail, if you have their Gmail addresses. Now, you can do this on an Android phone. Just understand, of course, that Google is behind Android. But understand the Google suite of products works especially well on Google Pixel phones. Right? Put differently, the makers of Google Bard also make a line of Google phones. You need to consider the Google Pixels, the Google Pixel phones, to be part of the Google ecosystem in which you can use Google Bard, Google's interface to artificial intelligence. Now, there's a lot of hype about NVIDIA, a stock I've owned at times in the past. Be aware that Google now is making some of their own chips. Right, folks? Google, for some of Google's products, is disintermediating NVIDIA and other chip makers. So understand the chips in your high-end Google Pixel phones are designed to handle artificial intelligence queries on sites such as Google Bard. So you're in your car, or you're on a bus or a train, and you want to do a Google Bard search. Folks, you can hit the microphone button in the Google Bard app interface and verbally enter your query. In other words, I can have a knapsack over my shoulder. I remember traveling to high school in the Bronx from Queens, and I'd be on some train, the 4 train or the D train, right? New Yorkers know what I'm talking about, right? And there'd be a crowd, and I'm standing up. Not exactly ideal to take out a phone and to then start fooling around with some small keyboard using your thumb. But just understand the features are so advanced now that I can just open up Google Bard and I can hit the mic button and I can just talk to it. So I have my knapsack over here. I have 3, 4 people, grabbing the same thing I'm grabbing. I'm packed and I can still be doing AI searches on my Pixel. Let me point out again what I pointed out earlier too. And of course, Google has lots of free cash flow, right? Note that Google cloud computing, the Google cloud computing part of Google is growing by leaps and bounds, right? They're even now dealing with crypto, right? They're now allowing blockchains to interact with Google Cloud. Well, just understand that the Google Bard AI results that I've stored on Google Docs are safe, right, in the cloud, even when I lose my phone, provided my phone has fingerprint / biometric protection. That would require the person who finds my phone to have my fingerprint in order to log in. Right, so let's say I'm careless. I'm on the train, I put down my knapsack or my briefcase, I put my phone, on the seat next to me, and someone snatches it. Right, I'm in some big city where crime happens. Right, someone snatches my phone. Just understand, folks, that phones these days are so advanced, and I know to Generation Z this is obvious. It's not to the baby boomers. Just understand that phones now are so advanced that the thief of my phone is going to have to, if I set up the security right on my phone, they're going to have to find a way to get past the fingerprint security measure on the phone. If they don't have my fingerprint, they don't have my data. Not only that, my data is in the cloud. So I can buy another phone and I can download that data onto that other phone after I log in. And I can set up that other phone to require my fingerprint for entry into the phone's databases. Right? So gone are the days, particularly early in crypto, when you would be talking to someone and they would say, hey man, I can't have my data on my phone because if someone steals my phone, they'll have access to all my private information. No, they won't. They'll have access to your phone. Your information is protected. Security has improved dramatically over the last few years. Now let's talk about Microsoft. You heard me earlier mention that Microsoft owns a part of OpenAI, right? Let me point out that that's extremely important because it's Bing AI, right? You want to open its Bing browser, then you want to use its Bing Copilot. Its Bing AI is more advanced in some ways than even Google Bard. And when you use Bing AI to do an AI query, Bing AI will read to you what it finds. So I'm on that crowded train, right? I'm here, I'm holding on to the handle. Several people are around me. I have really no space. We're stuffed in that train car like sardines, right? I can take out the phone. I can do a search, and then the phone can talk to me. Let's say I have a Bluetooth headset, right? I can be listening to my phone. Nobody else can hear the phone but me because I'm the one with the Bluetooth headset, right? I can be listening and doing AI searches for the train ride without bothering the people around me and without looking at the screen. In other words, I talk to the screen to do the search. It figures out the answer using AI, and then it'll talk to me about the answer, several paragraphs worth of answer. And nobody else is being bothered by me, right? The homeless person who's been sitting in the bench area of the train, who's been there for hours, he doesn't have to wake up to hear my verbal response from my phone after I've done a search on Bing AI, right? But let me also point out too, with Bing AI, obviously it's Microsoft. I can't just save it to Google Docs. Google's a rival company. But what I can do with the hit of a button is save the AI response, the AI answer I get in PDF format. Right, so understand, I can just, save it by PDF, have it on my computer, on my phone. And if I need to send it to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, I can just attach it as an attachment in my email account and then send it out to a bunch of people, right? If you're savvy and you know Microsoft, you know the email program would be your Outlook program, and I can do that easily. But let me point out, the biggest game changer feature that Bing AI has right now that, in my opinion, Google Bard doesn't have is the ability, and it's a game changer, to summarize YouTube videos. So let's say you're like me and you listen to a lot of videos on YouTube, right? I get a lot of my financial news from YouTube, right? But those videos sometimes can be long. I myself have made some YouTube videos that are more than an hour. And let's say you're busy in your day, you got work to do, right? Your day only has 24 hours minus whatever time you needed for sleep. You're pressed for time. Now just understand, Google makes money off the ads embedded in YouTube videos. So Google wants you to watch the ads. So here's a shocker. You can't summarize YouTube videos using Google Bard right now. Maybe that'll change, but right now you can't. But you can using Bing AI. Now the system is still early. It's far from perfect. But understand the way this computing game works. It improves over time. It improves exponentially over time. So all you have to do in the input window on Bing AI to summarize a half hour, a 1 hour YouTube video is to put the word summarize and then put the YouTube URL. I found the best way to do that is to literally, on the YouTube video, right-click, it'll pull down a window, and then you can just click copy URL, and then just put the word summarize in Bing AI, and then paste that URL, right? What you'll find is that the videos have different URLs. You want the URL right from the video itself, right? And understand, you can be on a page with 9 videos and just click on the video you want and copy the URL. You don't even have to fully open the video in your browser. And understand, Bing AI will then summarize that video. But rather than spend an hour watching a great video on financial news, right? You can spend 10 minutes reading what Bing AI spits out. Folks, it's a game changer. It's a time saver. But let me point out the obvious. You might get wrong information. So if you're a gambler, hypothetically, and you're looking up a bunch of videos that contain predictions on games, point spreads, etc., you might want to, in addition to summarizing the video, you might want to actually listen to the video. Because obviously it does make a big difference. If the person who created the video is saying, I like Team A here laying the points, as opposed to Team B, which might show up in the summary because of the current high error rate. Right? Again, this is new cutting-edge technology. Just understand that unlike Google Bard, Bing AI can summarize YouTube videos. And you don't have to wait for an hour to get the summary from an hour video. No, it summarizes it quickly. So you'll get the printout in about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, if not before then. Obviously, I've been summarizing some very long videos. So to sum up, I believe your best plays in AI, given the ecosystems involved with Google, right? Understand it's Google Docs compatibility, it's Gmail compatibility, it's Pixel compatibility, Android compatibility, right? Given everything that Google's offering. And of course, let me tell you too, Google Bard has improved exponentially. Its error rate is dropping. And given Microsoft's partial ownership of OpenAI, Given the seamlessness of converting a Microsoft response to a PDF, given the fact that Microsoft has its own system involving Outlook, right? Microsoft has its own equivalent of Google Docs, right? Given everything Microsoft adds to the party, including the ability to summarize YouTube videos, just understand that these AI startups really cannot compete, especially given the capital intensive nature of AI, right? It costs a lot to do these AI searches, a lot of resources. Most of these AI startups really can't compete with the old guard. Right now, this video is really based on average consumers doing searches. If you're a business consumer, then Amazon is in the mix. What I want people to do is to Google Amazon Intelligence Services. And you're going to see how they can help corporations set up their own AI portals, right? Understand Amazon Web Services is a Goliath in the cloud computing space. Now, my point to you is, while these AI startups might look glamorous, and of course, a lot of people are pubbing, AI startups that are costing $3 a share, $2 a share. They're talking about the future. I need for folks to realize that Microsoft, Google, Amazon have so much free cash flow that if an AI startup looks promising, they might jump in there and buy it, just like Meta jumped in years ago to buy Instagram. Right? So my advice, given that we're in the early innings of AI, right? AI has been with us a long time, folks, but we're still in the early innings of AI. You see the potential, right? Someday I'll be on Google Bard and I'll be able to summarize a YouTube video. Right? Can't today. I can on Microsoft Bing AI. Given the fact that we're in the early innings of AI, I believe if you're an investor, you cannot overlook Microsoft's ecosystem, Google's ecosystem, Amazon's ecosystem. Right? The old guard is the new guard for AI investment. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you, right? I hope you leave your comments in the comment section of this YouTube video. Just understand, as excited as you are about NVIDIA, just realize that Google quietly is now producing chips for some of its high-end products. Right? Don't overlook Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. Right? The players are still the players, even in this new AI space. We call it new. It's been with us, folks. Right? Let's just say these companies have a head start on most of the others. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section of this YouTube video. If there are other companies in the AI space that you want to mention, SoundCloud, whatever, right? Understand you have companies that have great niches where they have voice recognition, where I can pull up to a McDonald's and I can talk with an AI system. I don't even have to talk with some young person earning money for parties and beer. Right? Understand you do have many companies like that out there, but not with the ecosystems of a Google. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. If you want to talk about those other companies, if you want to talk about AI capabilities that you found to be particularly helpful, I hope you do so in the comment section of this YouTube video. Thanks for stopping by.